And let's get into this Beyonce. So, seems like another day, another story about somebody struggling to sell tickets at their concert. So yeah, so we've been talking about other people. Like we talked about Katy Perry struggling, but that makes sense why she would be struggling because that album didn't even the album she came out with didn't even warrant a tour. I mean, quiet as it's kept, most people in America don't even give a damn about Katy Perry. But this is not about her. This is about Beyonce and the fact that apparently she's just living in this delusional bubble where she thought that people cared enough to want to go see Cowboy Carter in a stadium. And like I said in the beginning, because funny enough, when Robert sent me this story, I said, "Child, y'all be acting like I'll just be out here hating for the sake of hating." No, I go based off the litmus test of how people are feeling. And for the most part, wasn't nobody really that interested in seeing Cowboy Carter in no damn stadium with the type of prices you was asking for and what that album warranted. So Beyonce's upcoming album has sparked significant discussion, particularly regarding ticket sales and pricing in London. So the pop superstar may have topped the country chart for her Cowboy Carter album, for which she won her first AOTY award from the Grammys, but her ticket sales for the recently announced Cowboy Carter tour have been lackluster, and she has yet to sell out any shows. Now, according to Ticketmaster and StubHub, so when you hear people, well, y'all just be putting stuff up, like when people try to come at me when I say stuff about Katy Perry not doing well with her tour in the United States in certain areas. Oh, but she's doing well everywhere else. Bitch, did you hear any part of my mouth say globally? I said the United States. That is one aspect of the 7 continents. I'm talking about here. I ain't talking about what's going on overseas. Whatever y'all got going on over there, focus on that. But don't try to come up in a situation when I'm trying to tell y'all something. Specifically listen when I talk. Stop putting words in people's mouth to justify your non-factor commentary and clapback or whatever it is you want to call it. So they're saying here, according to Ticketmaster and StubHub, because it's funny, I got to break stuff down for the slow. Tickets for all shows on her tour. So it's Ticketmaster and StubHub, the place where people go to actually buy their tickets. And they said all shows. So don't start to about, well, in London is this. In Venezuela is this. I don't even know if she toured in Venezuela. I'm just pulling places out my ass. But y'all get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So they said tickets for all of her tour, which kicks off at the end of April, are still available. Her ticket sales are especially slow in the UK, according to the London Times in an article titled, "She's a Global Megastar, so why can't Beyonce sell out her UK tour?" Per the Times, Ticketmaster had braced itself for an onslaught that never came. Well, Ticketmaster, y'all just as delusional as she is and her team, because I could have told you. Well, actually, in fact, let me not toot my own horn, but I did say that weeks ago when this tour was announced. People don't care about this tour. The hardcore beehive might, because anything Beyonce does, they lick at her. They lick, her labia minora and majora. But outside of that, the people that aren't in the beehive cult is not trying to spend. And let me pull up the tickets because somebody actually sent me the tickets. And this is for MetLife in New Jersey. Section 137, row 22. A verified resale ticket. And this is what I should have screenshot so I could put it up here. But I was just like, what? I'm not in the mood. Because I literally got this screenshot a couple of minutes before I was supposed to go live. And I was like, what? I'm going to just read it to y'all. So Section 137, row 22, $950. Section 137, row 29, $1,047. Section 137, row 16, $1,200. Section 137, row 13, $20. So $1,220, I'll say. Section 137, row 16, $1,300. And Section 137, because this is all I got so far, row 10, so y'all can get the gist. $1,500. Who the hell's paying $1,500 to watch her do this ain't Texas and do the goddamn hoedown? Nobody ain't paying for that. Especially when we're in a damn recession or about to enter one. Money is tight. And there's a lot of people going on tour right now. And this is no shade. I'm just basically trying to tell y'all the reality. So People are saying that it's just economic exhaustion, and that is true. It's like when you have a bunch of goddamn robber barons like Elon Musk and all these other morons that this idiot in chief already just put in office, and they just stealing people's social security. They firing everybody on a whim. Federal people are out of their jobs and things. They don't want to raise the minimum wage. The rent is going up. Egg prices is through the damn roof. Of course, if people want to blame Biden, I'm not making this political, but you want to know something? Politics has something to do with it. Because if people are not making a livable wage and people are still, and people's wallets is still recovering from the Renaissance tour, and not only that, Taylor Swift went on tour for like damn near 2 years where she trotted out her like 3 different legs of her Eras tour. People were spending all their money on that. So now they're trying to recover because there's other people that got a tour too. Kylie Minogue is about to come to New York next month for 2 nights. Her tickets is reasonably priced though. So I give her that, and she's doing arenas, which she's never really done in the United States before. So kudos to her for that. But her ticket price is not crazy. So, but with Beyonce, it's like, girl, you could have pulled the Madonna. And by pulling a Madonna, Cowboy Carter warrants theaters. It does not warrant a stadium. Ain't nobody going to no damn stadium, no football stadium or no baseball stadium to watch. Like, what kind of aesthetics are you going to get with this show? Hopefully it wasn't what you gave with that Netflix special, because I was bored watching that. There were moments where I went during the I was like, okay, yeah, she giving it, but I'm just like, okay, girl, I'm not trying to sit up in here and do no whole Black History Month citation with your show. Like, I'm gonna be bored trying to watch whatever it is that you're trying to give with this live show, where you spending more time educating than entertaining. I don't want to go through a whole history citation watching your show. I want to be wowed. I want to be entertained. Now, if you want to throw a little politics of and stuff, because that's what artists usually do with their stuff, I don't mind all of that. But if it's not going to be as entertaining as Renaissance, you ain't getting $1,500 out of me, especially when bills got to get paid. I'm not going late into my rent payments and all this other stuff. Give you my tax money, because tax season is right around the corner. We're supposed to be getting our yearly tax return. I'm not giving that to you. For what? You got enough money, sis. And this is why I said you should have did what Madonna did. Madonna went in when she put out the Madam X tour. She didn't do an arena. She did theaters. Yeah, it was a little messy with some of the, stuff that was going on with her injury. And then there was technical issues because a lot of the theaters and stuff are old. And it wasn't some of the theaters weren't able to execute her more progressive ideas and stuff. But nevertheless, if you're going to do something like Cowboy Carter is not a stadium tour. I even said that one of the things she should have did as well, that would have been perfect. Why didn't you wait until allegedly, because they said that there's supposed to be this rock album that's coming out. It was supposed to be a trilogy. The first one, well, technically it's supposed to be the second one because they said Cowboy Carter was supposed to be the first one. But since we're going to go by the actual rollout of the way things were coming out. So the first thing was basically Renaissance, the history of Black people and queer people's contributions to dance music, house music, that sort of thing. And she had that. And she gave, the tour was what it was. The people was living. And I ain't mad at her over that. The second one was country, which we knew was going to be coming. And then the third one is allegedly supposed to be rock. Why didn't you wait until the rock album came out, just toured with Cowboy Carter and the rock album, and then you sprinkle some of your past songs like Freakum Dress or Give It, Give It to Me Mama. Like, there were some of those old Tina Turner S-type songs that you was covering back in the day, or you was doing back in the day with your earlier solo stuff from like B-Day and stuff. You could have remixed a lot of those for the album for this one, or Ring the Alarm and all those other. You could have did a lot of those hits, sprinkled them throughout Cowboy Carter and the rock album. And that would have been an excellent tour. I think more people would have showed up for that. But I just don't feel like people look at Cowboy Carter as that impressive enough of an album that they need to be spending $1,500 to see this. You play majority of these songs. These people are going to be bored as hell. And not only that, they said her fan base did not like Cowboy Carter. They weren't impressed. They just blew their wad seeing her 2 years ago and then Taylor tickets. Bad economics right now. So they basically saying that, you know what? Beyonce could end up in a Justin Timberlake type situation where she's going to be playing just to 11,000 fans at the end of his Forget Tomorrow World Tour. So yeah, he was doing arenas though. And the tickets were not ticketing the way he had hoped. So these are all just genuine concerns that I'm trying to bring up. But like I said, so a lot of people just don't want to admit when their faves do a misstep. Now, conceptually, Cowboy Carter is what it is. But as far as like wanting to see these songs perform live, who's paying for that outside of the Beehive? Because you needed more than the Beehive to go see her during the Renaissance era. But I just feel like Beyonce's ego, she can't humble herself enough to think like, you know what? Not everything not every requirement, not every show needs to be a stadium. Sometimes you can humble yourself and put yourself in smaller venues. Like I said, even Madonna, who was bigger than Beyonce and so many others, with her 40 plus years in the game, humbled herself to know, like, you know what, the type of overall sound, aesthetic, everything that went with Madam X, I knew that this whole thing warranted theaters. This is not going to work in an arena setting. It's not going to work in a stadium setting. So if I put it in, give it more like it's a Broadway theatrical type thing, visually it works. And for the most part, it did work. But we not, like I said, I'm not going to go into the whole technical aspect of like all the behind the scenes mess that was going on with the Madam X tour. But I got the understanding at least she took a risk. And I don't think that if Beyonce did small theaters, that would basically make it look like she fell off. That would be some BS. And that would just be people hating if they said that. If you go and put yourself in a theater. So, but we'll see if she's able to pull some type of miracle out behind and is actually able to sell out those stadium tours. But look, she added a couple extra ones on, so I don't know why her people did that. If the tour is not doing what need to be done, if the tour is not tickets are not selling, why would they continue to add more dates? Because we've been talking about it for the past couple of days that she added 2 more dates on this area. She added a couple more dates on that area. So I was like, I hope her people are not setting her up for failure. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of the word on the curb according to Ticketmaster and StubHub? This is not somebody just pulling stuff out their ass to hate. This is from Ticketmaster and StubHub. Like I have to reiterate because people will try to find a reason to come up in here with their bullshit, and then I gotta cuss somebody out because they don't listen. So I want to hear from y'all. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.